Today I'd like to invite you to play a game with me. It's a game that I think you'll really enjoy and that you'll have, well, it's simple, it's easy, and it can have a very powerful, positive impact on your life today, every day, and not just through the holiday season. It's a game that I've been teaching for a little over 30 years and practicing myself. And although the game itself might be new to you as an idea, the principle is certainly not. Everybody reminds us about the importance of what? Gratitude. We know that an attitude of gratitude really goes a long way, not just because it's nice, but because of the effect it has on our heart, on our health, on our well-being, on our state of being. And it helps us to bring out positive emotions that can literally knock us out, shift us out of a funk, can help to prevent mild depression, can even help to enhance your manifestation skills. So perhaps you know this already, but are you practicing it? And the game I want to share with you and invite you to play with me just a little bit now, and especially during the holiday season, is an appreciation party. And what I mean by that is, one of the benefits, if there is such a thing, during this period of time, during these, really challenging times, I'll just put it that way, is that it's really brought to a head. It's really put a beam of light, if you will, a bright spotlight on our values. Who's really important to us? What's really important to us? Many of us find ourselves at home in lockdown, staying at home, separated physically from those we care the most about. Some of those most we care about maybe are in a hospital or a nursing home and we're not able to visit them. So the good news is it's really brought up within us these emotions of recognizing the very people that if they're no longer available to us, we'd feel a deep sense of loss. And maybe even people who we have lost this year or in the years since gone by. So I make no promise other than there is a ton of research and more research emerging on how this kind of a game can help you to create coherence in your brain, coherence in your heart, in such a way that you boost your immune system. Yes, you'll accelerate healing. You'll help prevent disease and illness. We could all use a lot of that lately, couldn't we? And it will also put you into a state of being that helps you to bypass your tendency to be overly critical and overly demanding on yourself. So allow me to explain. Here's the game. Now again, as I've been talking so far, you're probably no stranger to this idea of gratitude and the importance. You've no doubt noticed in social media and all the influencers alike seem to bring it up because it's important, because it works. And it could really make the difference between whether you're feeling hopeful, optimistic, or pessimistic. And when we're pessimistic, we give up, we stop trying. When we feel like there's hope, whether we know we can figure things out in 100 years or 10 minutes, it gives us the hope, the courage to take a step forward, to innovate, to do something different, to learn something new. And we need that, don't we? We need to innovate. We're facing so many global challenges. So it's been my mission for nearly 50 years now to help elevate the consciousness within myself, within the community I serve. And ideally, as we each do that, we pass it on to others. We pay it forward. And as we pay it forward, we build a better family, a more positive, loving, kind, and more generous family, community, state, nation, and hopefully the world with that. I know it's a big task, but you can certainly start with you. You can certainly start with me, with each other, with our community. So here's how the game works. First of all, there are two steps to it. One is I want you to start taking a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be a journal. It could be your journal. It could be a piece of paper, scrap paper. It doesn't matter. And when you find yourself waiting on the phone for someone to pick up, you're on hold. It's a great time to do it. Or maybe you're in someone's office waiting for your appointment. Easy time to do it. Or maybe you're standing online at the supermarket or wherever, or you're waiting to get a test and you're in line. Rather than sit there and complain and worry and complain, which does nothing but create negative emotions, and then you lose it, you disempower yourself. Do an appreciation list. Just write down, I appreciate, and whatever comes to your mind, thank you. For example, let me start the ball rolling. It doesn't have to be profound. I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing this video, for your likes and shares. Thank you. I appreciate those of you who've been following my work for a long time. Thank you. I appreciate you who are my clients, who I get to mentor, who are in my classes, my seminars. Thank you. I appreciate my loving family that's there, and my children, and my gorgeous wife, Barbara, and our grandchildren, and the opportunity that even if we're unable to be together physically, we can at least now, thanks to technology, FaceTime, WhatsApp, video chat. It's not the same, but it's better than nothing. You get the idea? It could be you appreciate that today it's a sunny day. But I'll tell you, at first people go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Once you start, be prepared. It's like opening up a floodgate. It's like the more you write, the more you think of, the more you can write. And then note how you feel. And it helps to elevate your emotions. And I can tell you, being in this industry, way before some of you were even born perhaps, we used to use affirmations. Every day and every day I'm getting better and better. Every day and every day I get healthier and healthier. Beautiful words, and there's so many of them. I can tell you, they don't work unless there's an emotion behind it. Emotion is the driving force. If you're doing mental rehearsal, creative visualization, I can tell you, it's nice. It's like watching a wonderful movie, feels good, but it gets you nowhere unless what? There's an emotion there. And if you know this intellectually and you're reading books and it's great to have knowledge. Man, it's amazing the knowledge you have. What good is it though? Unless you what? Embrace it, integrate it, and make use of it. Dare I say, my challenge to you is, what good is it to know the Silva Method skills? Probably the most powerful skills ever, the most copied, most imitated proprietary process that Mr. Jose Silva created way back in 1966, based on 22 years. What good is it to read the books, home studies, unless you actually what? Use it, integrate it. Because a lot of people are walking away and say, yeah, I got it. That's nice. Oh, that's great. That sounds wonderful. But it doesn't do anything. I agree. Unless you what? Make it a part of you and create a new neural pathway. And you rewire your nervous system so that you have a new default, and not a default of worry and anxiety and pain and giving up, but a new default of hope, aspirations, and courage and commitment to do whatever it takes. I know it sounds promising, and it is. It works. And I'm not making this up. I'm just echoing what all the research is saying, what everybody has come to realize when they actually practice it. That's step number one in the game. Anytime you have a chance, do it several times a day, please. Today, we're all experiencing high levels of uncertainty. We're constantly being reminded, warnings, to an extent where I don't know if I want to say they're sensationalizing, but man, it's alarming. You got to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, who else will? Self-care is so important, always been important, and today even more so. And it'll help you live longer, it'll help you to age more gracefully, and it'll help you to navigate the craziness with a bit more grace and a bit more ease. And it'll help you to make better, wiser decisions. And when you make better, wiser decisions, you'll be in the right place at the right time, and you'll experience synchronicities, meaningful coincidences. So I hope, and again, you may know this, but I remind you then so that you'll actually do it. And here's the game. Even better yet, I just completed Mastery, Silva Mastery, called Life Mastery, and I did it virtually. First time ever, we made history. And I was pleasantly surprised at the impact we still had. One of the things I miss is being there with you in person. You know, I've done hundreds and hundreds of classes all around the world, up front, in small groups, huge groups. I miss that energy. I miss those dynamics. Whoa. But thankfully, I do appreciate that technology is allowing us to at least connect, at least make a difference, right? So here's what I want you to do. We've been playing this for a long time in our family. One of the things we do is a severalfold, is not from in a religious context, but just in a feeling grateful. I mean, as I've traveled the world, I've really grown to appreciate Here in the U.S. where I live and make my home, man, by comparison to how so many people live on this planet, or even right here in the U.S., I feel so blessed, so fortunate to have what I have, that I have a roof over my head, that my family knows that we're going to have our next meal and we have a pretty good life for that. So I make the practice whenever I have a meal, I sit down and I, so to speak, bless my food. I put my hands around it and I imagine energy filling it. And I just say, thank you, God, or thank you, universe. Thank you for what I have. Thank you. And I also say, thank you for helping me to serve my community better, to connect better, more deeply. Because this is important, because as you win, I win. We're in this together. And I do this with my family. Even when my children were young, even when they were teenagers. So, they're dad. But we do it. And to this day, now they have raising their own families, have their children, and they initiate it and remind me. And we put our hands around the food, or sometimes we hold hands, depending on the mood, admittedly. And we just say thanks for what we have. And also focus on our intention. So if our intention is that we've got a test coming up, we've got certification to pass, or I've got a big gig coming up or an event, whatever it might be, we just clarify that intention and express our thanks in advance. It's a fundamental principle that's been around, we've been taught for thousands of years. Just take a look at all the different spiritual lessons and teachings with that. Next part of the game, and this is the best. We've been doing this, for example, here in the U.S., those of you outside the U.S., we have a practice, a holiday we celebrate called Thanksgiving. And I know there's mixed things because of what really Thanksgiving was and what happened. Not cool. However, what we do want to savor is some of the tradition behind and the meaning that hopefully we do every day, and that is to give thanks for what we have and our blessings, to give thanks for each other. So what we do is we sit around the table. So even if you're virtually having a Thanksgiving with family and friends, or you have just a few people with you around your table, we each take a turn to say out loud one thing we are grateful for. People will moan. If they've never done it before, they'll groan. But when they do it, it's like magic. Watch for yourself. I challenge you. Initiate it. Dare to suggest this. And watch the magic happen. When we've done this with family and friends, and even though they groaned, we had some of the best times together that people still remember 10, 20, but the first time we did it with our family, I think it was about 20 years ago. They still remember it because it just brought out a whole range of positive emotions. Why? Because whatever you give attention to, you give energy to. And whatever you give energy to will grow and multiply. So if we're focusing on what's not working, what we don't like, and we're in complaint mode, and if we're harboring feelings of resentment and hate, that person wins because they're still pushing your buttons and they're not even with you. It does no good to bear resentment or hate. You may think it's justified, and maybe they did a horrible thing, and maybe they are terrible people, not to go into judgment. It does you no good. You have a right to choose how you feel. And as long as you hold on to those feelings about that person, you're losing. Because you're still energetically connected to the pain, to the nastiness, to what they did. So yes, I'm saying you want to make peace with that and apologize if it's appropriate, or forgive. Not excuse what they did, not accept what they did, of course not. It maybe have nothing to do with them or very little to do with them, but to at least disconnect that negative charge. And that's part of what appreciation is about. So that's part of the game that I want you to do, and do it not just holidays, but every day. Next part. And this is something for you to do privately. We did this in Mastery, and it brought so many people to tears. I watch it. I love it when I'm there present because I walk around the room and it's like, wow. I mean, the emotion, the feelings of love. And that is to close your eyes. Just center yourself. Let's do it right now with me. If it's convenient, if you can do this now in privacy of your home, my home to your home, and just close your eyes. A few slow, deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose. Hold it briefly. exhaling out your mouth as much as you can, releasing the tensions. And then focus on an intention. What's your intention? I'm not talking goals, I'm talking the big picture. Like, my intention is my mission. My mission is to help people take command of their lives, to help people truly take command, and it's an inside game in such a way that they navigate life with grace, with ease, and then flow with the intuition to make better, wiser decisions, to be a little bit more compassionate. And that, my friends, helps the world at large. Certainly helps you, certainly helps your family and your community, at the least. And then save the appreciation. Do the list mentally, privately in your head. Just think to yourself, I appreciate, thank you, and allow yourself to wallow in that emotion. And just keep doing it. I appreciate, thank you. Now, I'll just do it briefly now, but it doesn't take long, 30 seconds, a minute, maybe 2 minutes, as long as you want. However, another part of the game is, are you open to this? If you have somebody of like mind who's open to it, sit down together, face to face. Both of you at the same time, close your eyes, few slow deep breaths, and let yourself know when you're ready. You know, just say, okay, Barbara, I'm ready. She'll say, okay, Ken, I'm ready. And then make a decision ahead of time, who's going to go first. So we've made a decision, I'm going to go first. And talk out loud with the person just listening, just your partner's just listening, and express it, whatever you appreciate. Just for a little bit, 30 seconds, a minute, whatever you feel like. Okay, now it's your turn. And you each do that. So remember, few eyelids closed, few slow deep breaths. Focus on your intention, something that's really important to you, something you value, something you want to accomplish, a big project you're working on. And then express the appreciation. That will elevate your emotions, that will help you with your manifestation skills. I prefer to call them co-creation skills. If you're subscribing to my YouTube channel, I've got some really cool trainings there. Please do subscribe if you're not, or follow me on Facebook if you're not. I'd appreciate it. That'd be great. And if not, that's okay too. However, be careful with manifesting. Sometimes it implies do nothing, sit back and poof. No, you got to do the action. You got to have a plan. You got to take action with that. So, my friends, I hope this serves you. If you don't know me, my name is Ken Coscia. It's been my joy, my pleasure to serve as an international Silva Method instructor since 1971. And I'm the guy who in 1984, Jose Silva selected out of over 100 Silva instructors globally. In fact, there were hundreds of us, hundreds. And there are only 4 in the world. Jose Silva himself was one of them, and some of the other co-founders, and I became one of them to serve on the elite staff. I will always be appreciative. I thank him. I feel love in my heart for him and Harry McKnight, both of whom made it happen. And it ramped up my game. It helped me to go travel the world and help to train new instructors, certify them, and do graduate programs like my mastery, etc., and learn so much. It helped me to really learn more about myself and put me in a position to serve others better. And wow, I'm just so appreciative. And today I make my home in Connecticut, and now everything's virtual, but soon, we hope, we'll be back to in-person events. So my friends, take care. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, if not, have a happy, happy Thanksgiving. As Jose Silva used to say, may the rest of your life be the best of your life. And just know, you are far more than you give yourself credit. And it is my hope that you will continue to do good, make a difference, a big difference, have lots of fun while you're doing it, and thrive.